All right, is that better? And the exposure's not good on this. Wow, look how reflective that is. Can I turn this down? Hold on, maybe. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to find the exposure button. There we go. There, that's better. Now you can get the detail a little bit more. All right, so that was a brooch. That was my first assignment, and it's made out of copper and sterling silver. There's like these three, what is this? Hold on, I gotta get, well, it's kind of working. All right, so this is a brooch I made. God, what a pain in the ass, and it's got these little brass cutouts on it, and they're little symbols. To me, it sort of had religious significance. There's kind of a tree. There's like 3 is important to me. This is sort of a human figure reaching towards the sky. Let's see. Yeah. Actually, there's sort of a person in a kneeling position. Okay, and then here, this is a die-formed copper bracelet, which my sister now owns. And and my sister also owns the brooch. I gave that to her. So there we go. And this is die-formed copper with a patina, and it's a bracelet, and it fits around my sister's wrist. That was my second project. Not bad for a beginner, I would say. Right? Okay, back to this. Okay, so here's a ring. This freaking monitor's in the way. I'm getting pissed off here. Maybe I should just turn the camera around. No, I don't want to. All right, so here's a ring. I apologize, folks. Here's a ring that I cast. That's sterling silver, and it's got a moonstone cabochon. This is a sterling silver wire brooch. Actually, technically, it was called a... I don't remember what it was called. But it's worn like a brooch, and it's a snail, sterling silver wire, and it has this black stone here. If I remember right, I think it was some type of black star sapphire or something. I'm not sure. And let's see. I mean, it's so long ago. This bracelet I loaned to somebody, and she lost it or it was stolen. And boy, does that bum me out. It was a self-portrait. And this is where we get into more of an art, okay? Now, some of this might be considered a craft, but then we're getting into the area where it starts becoming an art. And metalsmiths, there's controversy in the community, are metalsmiths artists? And many metalsmiths are truly artists. And so here, I would consider this a piece of art. It's a self-portrait. There's symbolism. There's a dragon's wings. There's 2 moonstones here. There's a cast skull wearing like a clown-type jester hat. And it was supposed to symbolize my self-portrait is that I'm a moody person, you know, dark and yet sort of mischievous. And then these 2 dragons represent my personal demons. This is more in the craft area. This is they call them boxes, but this is a cylinder, and has a formed top with a sort of brass inlay. Actually, they call this is called marriage of metals, where you're taking 2 metals and seamlessly combining them. So there's a brass design, and this is made out of nickel. Okay. And here's a forged sterling silver spoon that I made. And this is another one of my cast rings, lost wax casting. This is another one of my ring designs, lost wax casting. Third design, there was a theme here, and I did 3 different on the same theme. Another lost wax cast ring. Moving right along, this is probably my hardest project, probably what I would have to call, at least in art metal, my masterpiece. This is a clock body. It had a quartz clock movement that I bought, but the hands are die-formed brass. This is a brass face with this sort of circle, like with an arrow, and this is repoussé sterling silver face, the numbers, so it's raised 3D. There's a little sterling silver insignia there that says clockwise time foolish. Clockwise time foolish. And had a nickel body back here, brass base, and it was, boy, was that a pain to make. This is my Egyptian ring. I sold this. Oh, and I gave this to my doctor, and he still has that. This is my Egyptian themed ring where it has an ankh on the side, has a hematite pyramid shaped stone, and this was not lost wax cast. This was basically, I forgot what they call that. See, I'm getting rusty on the terminology, but it's crafted. Okay, it's made from sterling silver sheet, and pierced and sawn a little ankh insignia there, and then I made this little raised platform, and then put the pyramid on top. Setting a square stone for a beginner is more difficult than setting a regular round cabochon. This is a cast of my neighbor, Margot. Oh, something just fell out of here. This is a cast of my neighbor Margot's lips, who had just these amazing lips. So I made an impression of her lips, and then made a wax model, and then did a lost wax cast, and then put it on the spiral background. And this is a pin, but it weighs too much. It's too heavy to wear, really, unless you're wearing a jean jacket, you know, something a really heavy material, canvas or something. This is, I made in lost wax casting, you could take everyday objects, a plastic, and the skull that you saw on the bracelet was originally a little plastic toy. And remember these that you used to put in 45 records? This is I had one of these plastic 45 record adapters around, and made a lost wax, you know, essentially, but you can do it with plastic, cast of it, and that's sterling silver. And if I remember, and I'm bad on, I can never remember the names of stones, but it's a purple stone. Amethyst, I believe, was set in that. And so that's a pendant. And of course, I bought the chain. I'm not going to, making chain, boy. Whew, especially that sort of fine link. All right, this is another big project. My doctor has this. This is copper with sterling silver parts that join this. Copper sheet, sterling silver, and copper. So here's one side. You can see one side is sterling silver, the other side is copper, and this is a necklace, and it's rather big. You know, it's sort of bold. Not every woman could wear something like that. This is a sterling silver box, and I sold this in a gallery. And so the guy I understood used it to keep marijuana in it, and then later he commissioned a lighter. So I bought a butane lighter, like one of the nice ones that you use for your, you know, your coffee table, and that you set on your coffee table, and did a shorter version of this, so it was a lighter. And this dome, boy, this came out really nice, came out to really high polish. And the class assignment, I made all these for school. Class assignment was to do an architectural theme, to do something, the design to look architectural. So in a way, to me, that looks like a building. That could be a building.